Okay guys, I'm going to record a video real quick going over the notes for how to divide fractions and whole numbers. So if you look over here on the left, you've got the steps for dividing unit fractions by whole numbers. First step, keep the fraction the same. Second step, change the sign to multiply. Third step, you're going to flip the fraction over to its reciprocal. So, sorry, we'll go to the bottom here. Then multiply numerators to numerators, denominators to denominators, and then if you need to simplify, you can simplify. So, let's look at an example here. First thing we're going to remember, just like when we've multiplied fractions and whole numbers together, we start by putting the whole number with a 1 underneath it. That turns it into a fraction. So, I'll write this as 1 over 6 divided by 3 over 1. And what's really happening here is we're taking 1/6 and dividing it into 3 pieces, and we want to know what size that one piece of those actually ends up being. So we'll look at that with the model down below here in a second, but let's go through the steps for the keep, change, flip. So what I'm going to do is write K, C, F underneath it. And that just reminds me that we're going to keep one, change to multiply, and then flip the other over. So the 1/6 I keep. Division symbol I will change to multiply. The 3 over 1 I'm going to flip. So the reciprocal is like the same fraction but upside down. So when I flip it, you go 1 over 3. Now if you remember from when we multiply, I just multiply top numbers together, my numerators together, and my denominators together on the bottom. So the answer that I get is going to be 1 on the top, and then 6 times 3 is 18. So that's 1/18. Okay, next let's look down here at the bottom. For the model of this, you see I have 1/6 divided by 3. If I look, I'm going to put a couple dots here to say there's my 1/6, because that's 1 out of 6 pieces, and I'm going to divide it in 3. So once I divide it in 3, then it wants to know what size that piece is, and that's the math that we just did up there. You could count. There is 18 total pieces, and we're looking at one of them. Let's look at one more example. 1/2 divided by 4. Just so I don't have to rewrite it, what I'll do is put the 1 under it just like that. Then we'll do keep, change, flip. So I keep 1/2, 1 over 2. Change from divide to multiply, and flip. Instead of 4 over 1, it becomes 1 over 4. I multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 4 is 8. You got it. Okay, so there's our answer there on that one. Looking at the model down here, I have 1/2, and I'm going to divide it into fourths. So there's my 1/2 that I'm looking at. Dividing it in fourths, I'll divide it in half, and then take those in half. And then I want to look just at what size one of those pieces is. So if you look, one of those pieces, that's 1 out of 8 total. So that's how I get my 1/8. We'll look at the same thing, but with a whole number first, and basically what happens is the opposite. You have, if I did 3 divided by 1/6, the 3 would stay as 3 over 1. The 1 over 6 would flip to be 6 over 1. So basically it ends up being 6 times 3 on the top. It would be a whole number 18. And we'll talk more about that later. That's all on this side. Let's flip it over to the other side. If you look, you notice it says all of those notes for going over what do you do when you keep, change, and flip. Okay, the last thing down here is ways to remember it. So this is where you get to have some fun and decide what are some random acronyms that you can use to help you remember it. So I'm going to give you mine, and then you can come up with 2 more of your own. So the first one, I'll leave it as keep. So keep, children, farting. Keep children farting. That should help you remember keep, change, flip, right? And if you fart in the middle of filling this out, then you're going to be in trouble. Okay, think of 2 more on your own. When you're done with that, you notice right underneath this, you can fold it in half right there. Okay, it's not a perfect fold, but it's close. Okay, and then you're just going to kind of do if you'll take these 2 corners, so the corner where the W is right there, down to the bottom corner, it should give you the way they want it to look. Just there like that. Okay, so it opens up like that and that. All right, have a good day.